Today trainers, we are taking a look at Alolan Sanslash into Great League in a deeper look, featuring it in 4 teams in total. We're gonna see the strongest assets of these teams, how to play around your Alolan Sanslash, and of course we're gonna see it in the backline and up in front, while the code breakers are gonna be there just for you to know what to watch out and what to not be afraid of. So we're having for the first team showcase the Swampert upon the lead, while at the back Noctowl with Alolan Sanslash are both gonna be pretty much a very solid core for any team in Great League. So we're having a lot of pressure from those charge attacks for this team. Swampert upon the lead, I recommend using a regular one over the Shadow like I do over here, because you can withstand the damage much easier, and against the fighter, trust me, you're gonna need that extra bulk for sure, because if that fighter goes up against your Sandslash, you're gonna be kinda doomed. And speaking of fighting coverage, you're gonna use your Noctowl, which is gonna be pretty awesome as a safe switch right now, and especially with less amount of lanterns that I can predict for this season, perhaps Noctowl is gonna be the ultimate safe switch overall. At the closing part, of course, Alolan Sanslash with a new drill run will be your new way to go up against anything in the meta. It's the biggest winner, I believe, from that move update alongside Quagsire and Dugong. So yeah, definitely an all-around Pokemon for you, and that's why I'm making a video around it. Core breaker of this team is gonna be Tapu Fini, but to be honest, you still have some ways around it. Even the drill runs, the double ones, can hurt this Pokemon. A simple Earthquake or back-to-back Sky attacks can definitely seal the deal up against that soft core breaker. Also, at this point, I would like to mention that Alolan Sanslash here carries the move Bulldoze, but of course, Drill Run will be the better move. It's just that these battles were pre-recorded before the new season was started, so that's why I'm having Bulldoze, and I did that because I had some real-life issues to go on, so I prepared some videos for you trainers so that you do not miss my content for the early parts of the season. With that said, now let's see what we got into team number 2. With the new moves coming into play, perhaps Gliscor will not have the same fit in the meta like it used to the past 2 seasons, but still here it is gonna provide a lot of coverage against certain threats, and that's why we like it on this team composition. Up on the lead, you aim especially for the opposing steel type Pokemon, while you also have a very nice coverage against the fighters, and this is the main asset of this Pokemon. Also provides coverage against fires, which is pretty neat, and with those two out of the way, the fightings and the fires, perhaps Alolan Sanslash will have no other weakness on the opposing line, so you're gonna be on a very good spot on the closing part. So you can see the synergy that there is there. It's all up to you in order to grab it and get that really nice win ratio in Go Battle League using a team like this in Great League. So I believe that with Sableye on the safe switch, you're gonna have a lot of coverage as well. Even against its worst counter, it can take a shield or 2 out of them, especially with that return dealing so much damage on the enemy. If you consider using a Shadow Sableye and not a purified one, because the regular is pretty garbage, you have to go for that power gem, because it will give you coverage against the flyers and the ice types, which is pretty nice. And of course, Shadow Sableye will hit like a truck, but in return you're gonna get some severe defense drawback. So yeah, it is gonna be kind of a weird scenario to be in with Sableye, but still a very good safe switch for this meta. As a core breaker here, we have Walrein, which is gonna do a lot of work up against our Gliscor, unfortunately, and at the back, of course, the Earthquake can hurt our Alolan Sanslash with ease. Against Sableye, it's kind of an even scenario, but still I believe that even with drill runs from your Alolan Sanslash, you're gonna be fine. So up against the Walrein up on the lead, of course, switch out and rotate around your Sableye, and then think about going in with your Alolan Sanslash to finish them off. It is not gonna be that tough overall, especially when shields are up and you can block those potential earthquakes. Alolan Sanslash is taking over the next team, since we're gonna use it up on the lead, while at the back Mandibuzz and Medicham will form a strong but weak to fairy typing backline. So rotating around Medicham is gonna be the main key here, because you want to bait out something that Mandibuzz is afraid of, because with Mandibuzz's help and bulk, I'm pretty sure that nothing can escape you if you have a neutral or positive matchup, especially when shields will be up. So up on the lead, Alolan Sanslash is gonna do a lot of of work with Drill Run, yeah Ganeto, you just said it, and of course with your Ice Punches you can spam your way to victory. At the back, Medicham is gonna be a severe threat to pretty much anything, and on the safe switch, if you can draw out something like an Azumarill, which is the core breaker here, you're gonna be on a very good spot overall when you're closing the game, especially with Mandibuzz being so bulky and so spammy with the Snarls, or just go with the Air Slash if you feel like you need more coverage against fairy types. Drill runs from the Alolan Sanslash are gonna help a lot here, and the new move is definitely gonna take over, but to be honest, you might want to consider using something like a Shadow Alolan Sanslash if you want to pressure even more the enemies, because the bulk is already in your backline, so some extra drop on your defenses will not matter that much, and Shadow Alolan Sanslash will be a very good option right here. As a core breaker here, Azumarill is gonna do a lot of work, especially with Hydro Bump up against that poor Sandslash, while at the back the fairy typing will not be appreciated that much by Mandibuzz. However, against that matchup with Medicham, I think that Medicham still has a chance if you have a high rank one with those psychics, because the bulk is amazing from both ends, but Medicham can still outspeed to that second psychic, and that's gonna be the key to your victory. So that's gonna be all about this line. Now let's see what we got for the final one. And of course, we couldn't have a team around Alolan Sanslash without Luranti, so this Pokemon now carries the move Fury Cutter. Of course, you might want to replace it with Leaf Edge, because right now it's gonna be one of the best moves that are gonna be in the game, and I think that with stab damage as well, it's gonna help you a lot in your Go Battling journey. You're having also Super Power and Leaf Blade, two hard hitting moves. One is gonna be stab while the other is gonna hit much harder but will debuff you in return, but still Lurantis is gonna be able to do a lot of solid work on the closing part, especially against a steel type, and you're not gonna see that every day from a grass type going so hard up against those steels. At the back we also have the Pelipper, so feel free to rotate as much as you like, because Pelipper is gonna be one of the safest ones in the meta, and much like before we had the Noctown on the safe sweet spot, here is the Pelipper as well, taking advantage of the absence of the lanterns. So with that in mind, Pelipper is gonna be a really nice asset for your teams. You have the nuke for that Hurricane, or you can just go with the Weather Balls and spam your way to victory. Up on the lead, Alolan Sanslash here will not be Shadow, you have to use regular because this team is already too glassy, so taking advantage of that extra bulk will definitely matter in the end game. Core breaker of this team is gonna be Galvantula, but to be honest, it's kind of a soft one once again. However, it still is a notable one, because those discharges can do a lot of solid work up against your Pelipper, has a positive matchup, almost a positive matchup against your Sandslash, and of course the Lances can destroy down that poor Lurantis, which is pretty glassy and takes super effective damage, and the debuff will not be appreciated even if you throw a shield. So with that in mind, trainers, that is gonna be all for today's video. We covered, I believe, Alolan Sanslash in depth. You have to use not Bulldoze but instead Drill Run, which is the new move after the new move update for this season, and Hidden Gems looks like an exciting one for this Go Battle League season. With that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you all into the next one. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go and subscribe to the channel, and if you want to continue your Ganeto journey here, just feel free to check any of these two videos that might be of interest to you.